James the Just was the real leader of the early church. The Gospel of Thomas, saying 12, the disciples said to Jesus, "We are aware that you will depart from us. Who will be our leader?" Jesus said to them, "No matter where you come, it is to James the Just that you shall go, for whose sake heaven and earth have come to exist." This statement is at odds with the orthodox tradition of the succession of Peter. It represents nothing less than the lost tradition of the direct appointment of James as successor to his brother. So let's have a look at the Bible now, what that says about who was James. James was a son of Joseph and Mary, an half-brother of Jesus. Although not one of the 12 apostles, it is evident this James, who was also a bishop of the Christian church at Jerusalem, Acts chapter 12 and verse 17. It appears that during Jesus' ministry, James was well acquainted with his brother's activity. Luke chapter 18 and verse 19, John chapter 2 and verse 12. He was not one of the disciples and followers of Christ. Mathew chapter 12 verses 46 to 50, John chapter 7 and verse 5. He was probably with his non-believing brothers when they urged Jesus to go up to the festival of tabernacles at a time when the rulers of the Jews were seeking to kill him. John chapter 7 verses 1 to 10. James also may have been numbered among the relatives that said of Jesus, "He has gone out of his mind." Mark chapter 3 verse 21. However, after the death of Jesus, James was assembled for prayer together with his mother, brothers, and the apostles in the upper chamber in Jerusalem, Acts chapter 1 and verse 13 and 14. It was evidently to this James that the resurrected Jesus appeared personally, as reported in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 7, so convincing this one-time non-believer that he was indeed the Messiah. And this reminds us of Jesus' personal appearance to Paul, Acts chapter 9 verses 3 to 5. Thereafter, James became a prominent member and an apostle of the Jerusalem church, or a bishop. At Paul's first visit with the brothers in Jerusalem, he says he spent 15 days with Peter, but saw no one else of the apostles, only James, the brother of the Lord, Galatians chapter 1 and verses 18 and 19. Peter, after his miraculous release from prison, instructed the brothers at John Mark's home, report these things to James and the brothers, thereby indicating James's superiority or preeminence. Acts chapter 12 verses 12 and 17. Again, with the issue of circumcision, it is James who takes the lead in this. James spoke, offering a decision that was approved and adopted by the congregation. Acts chapter 15 verses 6 to 29. At this great church meeting in Acts chapter 15, did Peter stand out as the leader in this great meeting? No, Peter did not speak. But if you read the whole of the meeting, you will see that in fact James seemed to be the presiding elder, as he was the one who gave the final decision on the question of circumcision. See verse 15. An early church historian says about James, after the apostles, James, the brother of the Lord, surnamed the Just, was made the head of the church at Jerusalem. James ruled the church of Jerusalem 30 years. This James, whom the people of old called the Just because of his outstanding virtue, was the first, as the record tells us, to be elected to be bishop of the Jerusalem church. Therefore we can conclude that Orthodox Christianity is wrong about Peter being the successor of the Lord Jesus. It is really James the Just who is the true successor of the Lord Jesus and the first bishop of the early Christian church at Jerusalem.